So here we are, the day before. No one knows what was going to really happen. And how exciting is that? I'm going to talk about a lot of different things on this live. My why I share what I share, potentially what could transpire tomorrow without creating absolutes or confirmations. This is from my lens. For those tuning in, welcome back again. Thank you guys for jumping on and sharing. Please, again, tag people in the video that you, if this resonates, share this with people. Really just get this information out there because education is going to be so important. I've had such a powerful day going through a lot of activations and a lot of shifts internally. I feel like a lot of you on here can feel what's happening. A lot of you on here can feel something is happening. Something is ready to implode. It's kind of like we're grabbing the popcorn. We're at the edge of our seat. And it's interesting because usually in the past, we've gotten really excited and then nothing did happen, but a lot happens. And that's the first kind of rule of thumb that I'd like to kind of give you guys a heads up on. You're going to see a narrative be pushed tomorrow. You're going to see a timeline be pushed tomorrow. And then the days going post tomorrow, whatever happens tomorrow. This is where our gifts, our remembrance, our inner balance, our discernment, our cognitive dissonance, our ability to kind of see through the illusion is going to be so important. What I always recommend is if something comes in and it triggers you or it scares you, pause for clarity. Just take a deep breath. Look around you. You're most likely safe. You're always going to be safe. We're in a transition phase. Everyone's getting in the vehicle. We're about to blast off to a whole nother earth, a whole nother dimension reality that the whole world, basically the systems are ready for it. We're seeing, our heads are right here and behind us, there's a whole world being birthed right now. What happens is a lot of us have expanded our vision and are now seeing more than the eye can see it, our mind's starting to see it. And there's going to be some that are still holding on to this narrative. They're going to still hold on to this illusion, this matrix, this corruption, this control, this deceit, this lie, to a point where, a lot of people still in this paradigm, they might not even know they're in it. They might not even know they're aware of it. And that's okay. That's totally okay. We talked about the other live of as things become disclosed and declassified, which they are starting to happen slowly. It's not a tsunami. It's not a tidal wave all at once. These are drips. They call them drops or drips, and it's been happening now. Unless you're living through mainstream media lens or really deep in your ego and your mindset of resisting change and holding on tight, you might not see it. You might not see it at first, or you might be holding on to it as long as you possibly can, right? So we are going through this shift. And what I want to do first is backtrack in why. I posted a little bit about my father today, and I had a lot of awareness, a lot of revelations, and a lot of epiphanies and synchronicities and all those words you want to call it, because they are all words at the end of the day. And for those of you that don't know, I had my awakening 3 years ago, probably to this date. Like around this time is when I came across Barry Soetoro, and if you don't know who that is, like I said, look that up. A big reason why is I was able to experience my awakening alongside my father experiencing and going through cancer, leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia. He was diagnosed with cancer 4 months after I had woken up, had an out-of-body experience, and I started learning about the body. I started learning about health and nutrition. I started learning about acid and alkalinity and detox and mucus and pathogens and heavy metals and parasites and inflammation and acid and medications and the Western medicine and pharmaceuticals, and it goes on and on and on. I was wondering why am I learning this? And then I get the call. And I get the call that your father has leukemia. And that shattered my life. It shattered my world and my reality to what I thought to be true and normal. And the rest is pretty much my journey. It's my story that I've lived out. And obviously he's no longer here in this plane. A few months ago, passed away back in October. His soul lives on, and I know he's in another dimension holding the line for us as we continue to break through these limitations that we are, just in meat suits living a YOLO life. And what had I witnessed, though, through these last couple of years was the emotional swings that he had gone through, which it's hard sometimes to speak on it. That's why I'm here speaking it now. It's hard, and I know maybe some of you on here that can agree with me, when you know something and others don't, and yet you're trying to show them or share with them and they refuse to look and listen. And that's one of the hardest things to do. And especially if it's mom and dad, brother and sister, best friend. Right? And now all of a sudden with chemotherapy, with antibiotics and medications, a stem cell transplant, what they did to my father was it turned into all of a sudden just like a trial and error. Let's give him this pill. He took in 13,000 medications, you guys. He did 3 rounds of chemo. He did a stem cell transplant. He lost about 50, 60 pounds. At the same time, I woke up And I started changing, and my health started changing. My habits started changing simultaneously while my father began to decline at the same time. Not many people know about that. And you guys that have been following me for quite some time, I would spend the year following 2018 when I woke up, I spent 10 hours a day reading. I spent 10 hours a day listening to audiobooks and YouTubes and podcasts. I spent hours a day meditating and sitting in silence in a hospital where no one else was, and I was the only one there. And I sat there, and my partner Jilly was the one holding space for me, and I started dying every day. I was dying. My ego was dying. My belief systems were dying, what I thought to be safe and true. I cried, I think, every single day for a year straight. Every single day for a year straight. It's experience. And that's why my why is so powerful, because I saw it happen within me and within him. And now, you fast forward, because the story in itself, I could sit here for 10 hours and tell you every detail, but most of you watching this, you probably already know what I would share in terms of Western medicine, pharmaceuticals, the corruption, the Rockefeller. It's nasty. It's very nasty. And I love those that are, doctors and healthcare workers that are doing their best with what they know to be true. Again, it's not what they don't know to be true. They just were never taught it. It was hijacked back in the 1900s to remove remove homeopathy, remove holistic practice, remove quantum healing, vibration and sound. It was removed because it became a business. And it's the most disgusting thing on this planet in my lens, because I literally saw it happen, and my father became their customer. And if, not that he chose that, it was what he knew to be true in the time at that moment. And it made me sick to my stomach, where I was vomiting and there was little I can do. And I just made it a point to be that safe space and guide him, and I'm doing my best and I can. And then fast forward, you have, the full-on pandemic, and now the pandemic comes and he's recovering and he's doing better. And all of a sudden, boom, lockdown happens. He now can't go to practice. He now can't go outside. The doctors are telling him, if you go to the beach or go for a walk, you're risking infection of COVID and an infection in your transplant, and you could potentially die. Holy, excuse my language. Oh, jeez, fuck. What the fuck? Word magic. It's so disgusting. The fear that is pumped. All right. And I don't care if this triggers you. I don't care anymore. I've died enough that you go for it. Say what you want, think what you want. To hear doctors, the highest, best qualified doctors in the world, tell my father that if he did this, he could have a fear of getting infection, snowball effect, and he could not make it. The guy couldn't even leave his house. He was afraid to go to the market. Now, because of the lockdowns and all the bullshit that was happening, he was literally stuck to a point where his doctors couldn't communicate with him. He couldn't get to his appointments because they had to see him in LA. It was hard for him to drive. I could only do my best. My mom was going through things. It was difficult. It was very challenging to go and see and witness all of that transpire. And that's why I get my passion from. It lights me up. And I transmute frustration and anger into compassion, love, and gratitude, which is one of the hardest things that I've experienced and learned how to do. To see your father wither away, to have doctors that he trusts and respected, 13,000 medications, trial and error, let's try this pill, let's try that pill, 10 different biopsies, which is when they stick a freaking syringe in his spine and pull bone marrow out to see if there's cancer. He was in remission in the first month, you guys. He was drinking Kangen water. And they did a first intro round of chemo. Guess what the doctor said? He said, just to make sure, Chris, you're gonna do a couple more rounds. We just want to be sure it doesn't come back. Me, I say no. Him, he was too afraid not to do it. And he was gonna do it. And he did it. He beat the cancer, didn't get him. That's the thing. It's the medications. It's the fear. It's the freaking lockdowns that kept him from living his life again, that put fear in him from going to the movies, from going out to church, to go to the park, to go for a walk around his damn neighborhood, because of fear of infection or that he was going to get sick and die. Word for word fucking magic from these doctors that still to this day I've not spoken to, and I will meet them again and I will see them again and I will forgive them as Christ consciousness would, and I'll look them in the eye and I'm going to let them feel my pain through my eyes to let them know that I forgive you, and at the same time, please help me wake other people up. The systems are collapsing. I'm not going to go any more on that story in itself because, like I said, it gets very emotional and very heavy. And a lot of you saw when he passed away, it was literally his liver started to kind of go a little haywire. After 13,000 medications, fear, anger, frustration of these doctors, it manifests in the liver. And next thing you know, he decided to go. And I had to see my father. I couldn't see my dad for 10 days in the hospital because of COVID. Wasn't allowed to go see him for 10 days. He was all by himself for 10 days. Terrified, alone, No help in a beeping room full of EMF, fluorescent lights, shitty food, no access to Kangen water, limited communication, too weak to talk, and for 10 days of darkness, I literally saw my father wither away in front of me until he passed. I died with him. I died with him. For me, death is something that I used to be terrified of. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not. Death is an illusion. It's the start of a new beginning. And that's why I know he's here right now. He's talking to me. He's chilling. He's already given me signs. I'm not worried about that. The bigger thing I'm trying to address here is literally waking up to the freaking systems that have literally poisoned, tortured, killed people just to make a buck. And that brings me to the next topic, which is what you're most likely about to see happen, because it is about the money, it's about the children. And you're about to realize that these people that have been in control for so long, longer than we've been alive, for decades and centuries, maybe even millennia, they lost. It's over. They had no chance. And for those watching this, and if you're still thinking worst case scenario, doomsday, PSYOP, FEMA camps, and all that other word magic bullshit, it's okay to let go. It's okay to feel safe in your body. It's okay to tell someone you love them and you forgive them and you're thankful for them. It's okay to express what you're going through. I'm just going to reflect back to you that the best is yet to come. You have no idea. I have no idea. God does, and God's within us, so technically we do have an idea, and you guys know what's about to come. So what had happened today was the president had a farewell address. And if you notice, I posted something, and this is so important, I really haven't tapped into and shared this. He did an address in front of flags. Like, flags, okay, cool, American flag, great. That's the thing, we bypass it, we overlook the flag. There's a thing called the Title IV flag, which is technically the American flag, the true American Constitution flag, before it was bought out by thirsty, greed-driven, money-hungry, cabal, dark energy, nasty people, entities, spirits, and even malevolent ETs. Believe what you want, it's all good. What has happened now is that game is over, and they've been caught. They were caught a long time ago. They knew they were losing. They were trying to burn down this whole planet and country on the way out. There was never going to be a win. It was never in the written plan. This has all happened before in many lifetimes, and you're here for it now. Starseeds, light workers, light warriors, soul family, extraterrestrials, truth speakers, freedom fighters, Anons, whatever you want to call it. We're all for the same agenda, which, we hear that word, we think worst case scenario. We're in for a new earth, a now earth. And it's happening right now, just as 111 people are on here. And so what had happened today was Trump gave a farewell speech. And a lot of thought was, he was saying farewell to the presidency. No. He was saying farewell to the corporation that was, to the United States of America Incorporated. That has been a fictitious business. What was it? I believe since I had it written down here. And I'm going to share something with you guys in a second because you're worthy to hear this information and it's very important. I researched for you. I researched for my father. I questioned things for you and my father and myself and my family, my mother and my sister and my friends and this planet and all these animals and plants and everything. That's why I do it. I don't do it for money. I'm good on money. Abundance is here. It's not a number on the screen or money in your bank account. Abundance is in the mind. I feel confident to be there, and I'm not worried about making money with this awareness and truth. And what has occurred is you've had the United States corporation go bankrupt multiple times. And when you go bankrupt, extra outside foreign forces want to come on in, and they want to go on and bail you out. And when they bail you out, they now have you by the cojones. They have you. They got you because you're held by the dollar. You're now taking up the gold-backed reserve in 1971 when Nixon was president. Missed it, probably. A lot of us weren't even born. You've had the United States sold to foreign interests, such as, the cabal, the CCP, you got the Vatican, you got Italy, you've got the Buckingham Palace, you name it. They bought it. They bought it with fake money that has no intrinsic value. And so what has transpired now is you're hearing the word Constitution a lot. You're hearing 1776 a lot. You're like, what the heck is that? I learned about the Constitution, but aren't we still withholding it? No, you guys. We're living in something called the Admiralty Law of Water. And how do you know that? Look at the flag. So what I'm going to show you now really quick is an image earlier from today. And I posted this. What do you see? Notice the flag. There's a gold fringe on the flag. Okay, see this gold fringe right here? That's Admiralty Law. See this ruffle in the flag? Look up John McCain. You guys don't remember who he was? Committed treason over and over. He helped create terrorist groups. Believe what you want. His funeral, when they said bye to him, his flag was wrinkled for treasonous acts. It's right there in front of you. A wrinkled flag and a gold fringe, right? So that transpired today, right? That happened this morning. So when Trump has a farewell speech, he's not saying goodbye to the American people. He's actually getting ready to be sworn in probably as either the last president, which he was, or a new president in maybe March 4th of the new Constitution, the 19th president of the United States, not incorporated. The last person who did that with Ulysses S. Grant. Probably didn't learn that in school because they didn't want you to wake up to this stuff. That's okay. Education is all Rockefeller indoctrination, for those of you that are aware. So you look at Obama, Barry Soetoro. Barack Obama's a character, okay? Not born here in the United States. That's all proven. Believe what you want. Take. Okay. Maritime law, gold fringe, and then boom, it's glitchy. Not surprised. Everyone hates the word Trump because you've been programmed that way. Okay, and he's shown this for quite some time. Just pay attention. Pay attention to it. So I'm going to read you this, okay? Here, I'm going to read you this, what I have in front of me. It's going to explain. There's the yellow fringe, right? Title IV flag, or not the Title IV flag, but it's a gold tassel for Admiralty law. This yellow flag with yellow represents no nation, no constitution, you guys. It's right there. No nation, no constitution. We've been living in a fictitious world. That's the matrix. It's a fake United States, a fake corporation, it's a fake Congress, a fake legislature, fake healthcare system, fake education system, fake entertainment, fake money, fake teachers, fake school. It's already over. Systems are not sustainable. It's done. So let me read this to you really quick. The national flag of the United States, the stars and stripes, is sometimes decorated with a gold fringe around the edges. These yellow fringe stars and stripes can be found in most state and federal courts, municipal buildings, and schools throughout America. But why? The flags displayed in state courts and courts of the United States have yellow or gold fringes. This fringe is your warning. This is your warning. They've been warning you and you still take the bait and you still step into the court and you still lose. And that's why those don't get in trouble who've committed crimes, because they created this warning for you. That is your warning that you are entering into a foreign jurisdiction, the same as if you are stepping onto foreign soil, and you will be under that jurisdiction of that flag. A flag. A flag. Capture the flag. Played it growing up. Last flag standing. Russell J. Gould. It's right there for you guys. Last flag standing. The flag. Title IV flag. It's all happening. Now, here's the thing. So if we look at what's going on, we've been living in a fake world, right? The government, yes, the government is falling. And look, the government is now surrounded by military who doesn't serve the government. It serves the president and the people. You guys know that? The military serves the president, the sitting president of the constitutional state, which is not the fringed Admiralty law state that has been fictitious and fake. And that started 20 years ago and prior to that. You now have people that are committing treason on foreign soil. They're manipulating votes. They're manipulating Congress. They're manipulating mainstream media. Their puppet masters are manipulating them, and it's a game of telephone. And so when Trump says we caught them all, he caught all the fakes. He caught all the deep fakes. He caught all the fakeness. But here's the thing. We all get so frustrated. Why didn't he do anything earlier? Because he wanted to give them a chance to come clean. There's the thing called the art of war. The art of war by Sun Tzu talks about, it's not about exposing your enemies yourself. It's about letting them expose themselves. And look what just happened. Look at how many people woke up. The digital soldiers, you light workers, you starseeds, right? Your light warriors, your keyboard warriors, your truthers, peaceful protesters, being called crazy and holding the line. You have no idea what the role you just played in this awakening. Pat yourself on the back. We just broke out of a fictitious world based on a fake flag, a fake Congress, presidency, legislature. We left the Constitution, so now you have no power whatsoever. Doesn't matter what you did, you're always going to lose. And when you walk into a courtroom and you say, I understand, you literally stand under them because they're right above you in this fake world. They're floating on water. We're drowning in water. That's why when we're born on ships, motherships. And the ship docks from a doctor, and we're birthed through the birth canal, and we have a certificate. And that certificate is our birth certificate. And that birth certificate is actually exchanged on the stock market. You're a commodity. I'm a commodity in a fake, fictitious, foreign land. Do you see why, if you start looking back on what the president has done, right, when what he's exposing, what he's created for others to see what is transpiring, and here he is in his farewell address trolling the crap out of these people because he's a troll master 5000. That's why everyone hates him. He pisses you off. You don't even know who he is. He's a joker. His archetype is wild. If you've ever done his astrology, his human design, he is literally, his mother's name is Mary, middle name is Mary, or mother's name is Mary, his father's middle name is Christ. He was born on the solar eclipse. The last time that happened was when Jesus Christ was born. Say what you want. Go look this up. It's real stuff. It's wild. And I had to work through these triggers because I was like, there's no way this guy who can't type right, which in fact tweets are military comms, that can't speak right, which in fact are military comms, that has different hair color and skin color, which are military comms, you start realizing this was already a play, a trap the whole time. Already a trap the whole time. So let me read you a few other things, okay? I'm going to show you this. Okay, do you guys see this? So I post this in my Telegram chat. Okay, this is in my Telegram chat. I break a lot of things down. We got almost 1,000 people on it. Let's keep sharing it because that's where I'm going to help you guys break through. Okay, so let's look at the top. The flag of the Unity States of America. Do you guys see that? It's not united. The Unity States. Title 4, U.S. Code, Chapter 1, Section 1 and 2. Russell J. Gould, lastflagstanding.com. Preserves the Constitution. All right? The official flag of the Unity States of America. Not the United, that's the corporation. But now let's go below. Oh boy. The national flag. The gold fringe suspends the Constitution. I know it's a little blurry, so I'm doing my best. Here we go. The gold ball recruiting, the gold spire, the court martial, the golden eagle, the fake president. All right, now you have over here, we just saw all of these things are fake. Gold tassel admiralty law. You have this flag. We already talked about that. And down here, national flag, army. Look at the army flag. Looks similar. Official state flag, desecrated state flag. National flag, army, all right? But here's the thing, my mistake. These suspend the Constitution because they're a little bit smaller. So size matters. Our flag, there's only one official United States flag which preserves the rights protected by the USA Constitution. Under it, you are innocent until proven guilty. National flags are government flags. They do not preserve the US Constitution. You are guilty until proven innocent under them. That's why you say, I understand. If you guys notice, I tend to say I understand because it's word magic. When you tell someone you understand them, you are now below them and you created separation in your subconscious mind. So our flag is red, white, and blue. There is no yellow in our flag. Now, let me put it all together for you. I'm going to read something again that kind of connected, and I'm not here to say that this will happen. I am, but I am not. I am that I am, and this is not a confirmation, absolute clarity. I'm just going to let you sit with this. Ready? Okay. A peaceful transition is coming. The President of the United States, Trump, will not be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States on January 20th. We know this, so he's no longer President of the corporation, right? POTUS Trump will be sworn in potentially as the 19th President of the United States of America on March 4th. That's about 2 months from now. What do you think is going to be declassed in the next 2 months? And then you have a declaration in the last stimulants of UFO declass in 180 days. Oh my gosh, popcorn on hand. Allow me to explain. You believe you live in a nation called the United States of America. That nation has not functioned or been operational. And look all of this up, you guys. Don't believe me. Look this up. Write this stuff down. This is literally, you're going to learn more right now in this live probably than I have my whole life from this stuff. And it makes so much sense. This is a military operation, a global alliance project. This is multidimensional warfare using galactic technology, Project Looking Glass, quantum entanglement, time travel, spiritual warfare, emotional imbalances, psychological attacks. This is not bullets, guns, and weapons. This is memes, censorship, and satellites. That's warfare. And that's where you see these video games, cyber warfare. Yes, we've been programmed to think it's normal. In fact, it's very dangerous. But we have Space Force. Space Force is on our side. Now you guys know why Trump made Space Force. He wanted to activate the Jedi. He wanted to activate the Jedi because we're going against the Sith and we think that's a fake movie. But in reality, Space Force has technology that is, whether it's on this planet or off planet, that is used for good purposes. There's good. This universe is love. God is love. God does not punish you for making mistakes and shaming you. God does not instill fear in you and shame you like religion teaches us. A lot of the religious texts have been hijacked by those that we don't speak of, and they've distorted the word. That's why what happens? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So what better way to distort the world and distort God by changing the word? And instead of the word, let's change the color of the flag. Let's take a fringe on and then trick people. Let's tell them to understand instead of understand. Let's create word magic where they're now stuck in scarcity because they can't. Wild, right? So back to this. So the nation has not functioned or been operational since 1871, when this country became additionally a corporation. Okay, when this country became additionally a corporation owned by the city of London. What's in London? All right, what's in Italy? The Vatican. What's in London? You've got the head of the banks, the head of all these things, the Vatican, all that nasty, the Catholic Roman Church. You've got the Jesuits and the Phoenicians, gnarly stuff. Every time you see an American flag with a gold fringe and gold tassels attached to it, which pretty much most of Obama's flags when he was in office, they were all like that. He's a gnarly, I don't even know what, he's a gnarly entity. And that creature that manifested in that body, oh boy, you're about to see the real truth on that. It represents the corporation and not the country. That's why Trump said farewell. He never said transition of power to Biden, because you can't transition of power to a corporation that just went bankrupt, that has no president. You guys get you guys getting it now? You're getting it how it's all about words, money, power, zooming out and zooming in. And then everything in this world, mainstream media, is the number one tool to think we are crazy. That's why they project out what they are doing to make you think you're the bad guy. You're the psyop. Well, we've been in a psyop our whole life, thinking we live in a real America. We're living in a real country, which in fact is not the case. So the American people in the world will be shown irrefutable proof that the election was stolen, that has already been coming out. Italy, the Vatican, France, China, Russia, there's plenty of intel. Voter fraud all over the country. So irrefutable, but here's the thing, all of our courts are corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt. And you're probably going, well, why didn't Trump do anything and say anything? Wasn't supposed to. He was following the art of war. He was letting them expose themselves. He was letting the world see that the courts aren't doing anything and are just throwing out these cases. Well, the narrative of mainstream media goes, well, these cases are fluffy. They're not worthy. They're soft. So now you have the Democrats, you have this illusion. Again, I'm coming from an observation. I didn't vote. I'm neither. I'm a free sovereign being and looking to help liberate the world and humanity. That's why I'm here. And I'm not from here, by the way. Take what you want. So you have a narrative being played out on behalf of a testimony where that's not true, or that's not right, or that's not accurate. These cases are phony. So it's all show. Remember, you're watching a movie. So you guys will see the evidence come out, and it'll come out slowly and start to pick up steam. And he started declassing already. Obamagate, FISA, and all these other things, Ghislaine Maxwell, all that jazz. POTUS will then assume the presidency as the 19th president following the last POTUS elected before America became a corporation, which is Ulysses S. Grant. You guys get it now? So now, I don't have all the particulars involved. However, I do know the end goal has always been the destruction of the 1871 corporation. Okay, 1871 corporation. And the return of the republic. My partner, Jilly, she goes by the Water Priestess. She breaks down this stuff to a T with her water lens. She's the most amazing woman I've ever met in my life. Hands down. And she gets a lot of projection because she triggers a lot of people. But if you go on her page, go to her stories, go to Admiralty Law, you guys will lose your mind. Watch any of her highlights, you will lose your mind because it's so crystal clear. So I want to remind you guys, my page, everything on my highlights, my page is yours. Everything on Jilly's page and highlights is yours. Share this, share this, share this. I'm getting censored like crazy, and I'm changing that. I'm declaring it, but it's still hard. I've gone through 2,000 plus views to now 200 in 1 week. All right, so why? Now, so the destruction of 1871 and the return of the Republic America, right? That's why you heard the last president, right? The last president. To we the people, as the constitutional republic it was founded to be. Remember, who does the military serve? It doesn't serve Nancy Pelosi. That's why when Nancy Pelosi called the general let her have it and said, I don't answer to you. You can get lost. They're terrified, you guys. They already know what's coming. You're just delaying the inevitable, and you're about to watch it either tomorrow, the next day, the next week. It's just going to be happening now. Like this tonight, for me, I had so many purges. I let you guys in on the stories. Old Earth, it's fading away. 3D Earth is pretty much no more. We're now in the in-between, as before we moonshot to the skies and the stars. Now, let's see. So the following 6 weeks are going to be probably chaotic. And here's where, again, use discernment. Have plenty of water, food, candles. You may lose power for a little bit. I know there's been blackouts. I get messages all the time. I know there's been rolling blackouts and broadcast system tests. It's real. This stuff is real. You are safe. The military has your back. You are safe, you are safe, you are safe. And I say that with complete confidence in every being in my body. There's no bit of me that says otherwise. Comply with the National Guard in the United States. Don't get in the way. This is not the time to be a hero and go and protest and do all these things. Chill. You've done your part in this. Let the Jedi finish it. We're all Jedi, but you guys know what I mean. Let the military, who is here to serve you, serve the president of the real republic, not the fictitious world, and allow them to handle the sweeping. Allow them to handle these things. And we are on the standby ready to help the world wake up to these informations. And then the last bit, they have sworn an oath to the nation, not the corporation, word magic, founded by the Act of 1871. Okay? Be vigilant, pray, your nation is depending on you. Your nation is about to be returned to you. Nisara Jasara. This is the reason that you can never seem to get ahead financially. This is why the law seems to always be stacked against every average citizen. You guys remember the movie Law Abiding Citizen? What does he say? It's going to be biblical. I'm going to take the whole house down. Where do you think they got that idea? Where do you think he got it? Predictive programming, Law Abiding Citizen. Watch that movie, you'll lose your mind. This is why the law seems to always be stacked against the average citizen, while the wealthy and the elites literally get away with murder or worse. Why? Because they live in a fake world. They can't get tried because the government and the Supreme Court that would try them are a part of their corruption. That's why Trump was president. Not because he's a politician, it's because he's a businessman and because he's a master troller, and he knows the ins and outs of these elites because they recruited him over and over. I've watched so many documentaries on this man. I'm fascinated by it. I mean, call it what you want, but you've been programmed to be triggered by the word Trump, and that's okay. So was I. So was I for a long time. If Biden, Harris, Pence, Pelosi are arrested for their crimes before the 20th, there will be nobody to assume the presidency. So obviously we haven't seen that happen yet. Since POTUS was not certified as a presidential winner by Congress, he cannot remain president of the fake United States. Right? So he was playing a role as well. He was a fake president, but he did it to drain the swamp. That was the really nasty stuff. If on the 20th of January there is no POTUS, the corporation now of the United States of America will be dissolved. Our military will be the guardians. Remember that word? Space Force. The term guardians is Space Force of the nation during this transition of time. And so it is, right? So many things, it's wild that people are still holding on to the PSYOP thing. And we've, obviously, all power to them. And that's the reality. For me, I'm a whole different ballgame. I know it's already done. God has already won. Children are being rescued. There's technology ready to be released. There's quantum financial systems that are set. And you're seeing the end of the old guard. It's the transition. It's like me handing the baton off to you. You're seeing that happen right now. It's just going really slow. And mainstream media is yelling at you. And it's going really slow. And you want it to go faster. And then once it's handed off, Great Awakening is here. It's already here. What do you guys think? Wild, right? So wild. I probably could keep going for 10 more hours. Because now you know why. To close it all up, now you know why I could go forever. Because I care about you. I don't do this for money or fame or fortune. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost opportunities, business. I was in debt. At the same time my father had cancer. Went through a dark night of the soul. Detoxed heavily, lost 40 pounds, reprogrammed my mind, explored plant medicine, got out of my comfort zone, reconnected back to nature, started decoding the Bible, breaking down word magic, learning about martial law and admiralty law, becoming aware of the pharmaceutical system and the banking system and the Federal Reserve, learning about spirituality and ascension and what we're going and where we are and who we're being. Keep going and going. Infinite. And you all can do this too. And you're doing it right now. I'm just speaking it for you. I speak the things most are thinking, and that's because I have this 5 in my head that sees a lot of things, and I can universalize a lot of things and then express it in a way that maybe you can understand it better than I could. And that's the goal that I share. So, thank you, Dad. Thank you, God. Thank you, guys. I've gone through a lot. And not many people see this side of me, I've been told a lot of things. Crazy, conspiracy theorists, and losing your mind. And here I am drinking green shakes, let go of alcohol and drugs, and meditating and vibrating high, and I'm the crazy one. That's okay. Jesus was crazy too. All these teachers were crazy too. We're all them. Christ is here. Christ is returning. Christ is in us now. It's a consciousness. It's a consciousness. It's real. And that consciousness is here to teach and empower, inspire, not manipulate, persuade, and censor. That ain't God. That's man-made. That's left brain stuff. It's left brain stuff that we're waking up and getting out of right now. So you're going to hear people, I need proof. You're crazy, man, because they're trying to figure out what you're saying. And their left brain's going in a loop, and they're on a hamster wheel, and they're in the matrix, the left brain. And all they got to do is cross over the corpus callosum, which is the shape of the cross. Do you know that? Cast thy net to the right. Right brain. Feminine. Community. It's all happening now. So to wrap this up, for those that, like I said, have gifts, and those that have these abilities, and those that have these, you know what I'm talking about. You're getting the chills right now. You're really seeing why you're here and why you signed up. There's millions of Starseeds here right now that are helping this transition. You're from all over the galaxy. Believe what you want. Yes, you came from your mother's womb. She was the mothership that allowed your soul to come in. And when you were sold to a fake world and a foreign illusion called the Incorporated United States, if you're in America, now you know what happened. You lost your telepathy. You were vaccinated. You were manipulated. You were indoctrinated. You were programmed. You were turned into a nation of workers, not thinkers, and it carried on to the workforce and scarcity. And that's why such a small people have wealth, because it was designed that way. And we're breaking the system now. It was designed to be broken, and we're breaking a broken system by being our best version of ourselves. That's why I talk about coming out better, being the light you wish to see in the world. There's no accident and no mysterious coincidence. My father left me 10 binders full of biblical notes that I've yet to open up. I opened up one time and I couldn't even read it because there was so much power. I don't know, to this day, it's time. No doubt about it. To this day, he still talks to me, and I know. Yeah, I cry. It's a great form of healing. I know what he left me is for everyone. And you have help too. You know? You have guides. You have your team behind you right here. All around, you're here. You're not alone. You're never alone. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. You see it here. This is a lens. This is the vision. So thank you, Dad, for experiencing what it is I've always uncovered. It's beautiful. All right, guys. Have an amazing night. Get some sleep. I'm going to be, jump on the Telegram chat. Again, anything you can share on my page. Not for me. It's not for me. It's for everyone. Get it out there. It's hard when you get people that have been following you can't even find you because of the draconian measures that are played on our speaking our truth. You know, the coronavirus, all those things to keep us separated from ascending. When we come together, we vibrate higher. When we breathe life force energy, we vibrate higher. When we speak our truth, we vibrate higher. No wonder it wasn't about a virus. It was about fear. It's about keeping you stuck in this 3D matrix. This false flag, literally a false flag. Times are changing, and so it is. Be the light for somebody. If somebody could put my Telegram, it's in my bio. Go to my bio. I'm going to post this up on a replay. Share this. Again, I don't know exactly what will happen. Probably whatever I predict is going to be the opposite. At this point, I've let go, and I already know God wins, and I already know everything is already done, and the best is yet to come out better. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next time. Much love.